Hello, my name is Kyle Pounds, and this is my video where I share my thoughts on conspiracy theories and conspiracy theorists. Sorry about the glasses, but I can't see without them. Don't have my contacts in right now, and I'm not supposed to wear them until I get my surgery. So it freaks me out not to have contacts, so I gotta be able to see the camera, so here we go. Let's do a little rundown on what conspiracy theorists basically talk about. What they're talking about mainly is that there's rich people in control of the world and they want to kill everybody so that they have less people to control, so they can control everybody. That's basically what it is. The main conspiracy theorists who I will reference in my video are, we have David Icke, we have another guy called Michael Tessarion, and then we have Austin's own Alex something or other. So Alex Jones. So these guys are very fascinating to listen to. First, I do say that I love these guys. I think they are very smart guys with good hearts. They certainly don't cover all the bases. They do give some ideas on how to fix things, but I don't think they go all the way there. I would like to venture my own ideas. So first, basically, what they're talking about is there have always been blue bloods. And if you look in history, we've always had the rich people in control of everybody else. We have had stints of democracies. We had it in Rome until Julius Caesar, and then we had an empire until the end of the Roman Empire. And then after that, we had went to the fiefdoms, and we had all over the world, and that's basically what we're talking about. Now that system back then, I think, is totally appropriate. Worked out great for us. If you don't have an educated populace, democracies don't really work, and I think we're seeing that right now in Iraq. You need an educated populace who know how to think for themselves in order to have democracy. So monarchies were great. You would have these rich people, smart people, who would make unions with each other. They would intermarry one country to the next so that the countries wouldn't fight. And it's a brilliant idea, and it worked great. But as time went on, people became more educated. Gutenberg invented the printing press, and people learned how to read and think for themselves. And so it became time that, and then we got America, and America had a democracy. So then it pretty much became appropriate for the rest of Europe to have a democracy, just like America. So that's when the French Revolution happened, and the beginning of the modern age. One of the biggest change in civilization in all of history since we came out of the caves until now, the process we're going through now. So these conspiracy theorists talk about that like it's bad. So I don't agree with that. I think that's good. But as far as where it's going now is we obviously do not need any. We are ready for a democracy, and we don't need these bourgeoisies who make decisions for us. And apparently that's what's happening. I watched Alex Jones's movie on YouTube last night called can't remember what it's called. Anyway, he talks about what's happening to America right now. How, I guess, back in 2002, George Bush signed in some law where he unified all three of the branches and to underpower the executive branch. I have heard from various people that's what happened. I have not read any books about it or even any articles about it. I'm kind of ignorant that way. But the problem with Alex Jones is he didn't actually explain it. If I were to have made a documentary, I would have explained that. Exactly how they did it, the documents, what it entails and all that. Because and he's also talking about how the New World Order is bad, but we do need a New World Order. There's nothing wrong with a New World Order. We need to standardize everything and make free trade so that we have the least amount of hoops to jump through, least amount of red tape and bureaucracy, because it's cheaper that way. And we want to eventually have one world country, and we can't really have peace and world prosperity without that. But one of the problems, and I think one of the main fears that rich people in control and people from first world countries have, is they're afraid that this world might go down the tubes if we allow too many of these poor people from third world countries to multiply, and then the world will be overtaken by stupid people. And that's actually a fear of mine that I have, because I actually lived in the ghetto of Santiago, Chile for 5 years, and I know how poor people think, and it is kind of frightening. They don't think, really. They're very primitive, and that's a completely other video. I don't even know if I'll make it. If somebody asks me to, I will. But those are the people who are multiplying. All the first world countries, people aren't having babies. It's the third world countries that are having babies, and then they're moving into our country, and they're bringing all of their lack of ability to study, and their lack of curiosity, and into our country with them. That's another video, though. That's a video that I would like to make about what I think about immigration. But the problem, I think, with these people is they think it's a racial thing. They think it's a genetic thing, and it's not a genetic thing. I mean, granted, people from third world countries are uglier than us. They're shorter, they're fatter. But the main reason that they're uglier than us is because their diet is fucked up. They just live off of Coca-Cola and fried food and stuff like that. So obviously they're going to be a little pudgier, and they're not ugly or anything. If you take anybody from third world country bloodline and you have them raised them in a first world family, they're going to be just as beautiful as anybody else. So it's not a racial thing. The main problem is socioeconomic. That's another video, though, which I'm definitely going to make, maybe right after this video. But that's the problem with these rich people, is they apparently, according to Alex Jones, is they are trying to kill off 80% of the world's population. Mostly poor people who would be very easy to kill, especially with some kind of plague or catastrophe or something, because all of the tidal waves would drown them, and all of the earthquakes would kill them because their structures aren't strong, and they don't have the medicine or the health to fend off this stuff. And apparently Alex Jones has said that they have tried to put, or they have put AIDS in corn. They have injected people with uranium and done all sorts of stuff to try to kill them. Well, we have seen in the past that this kind of stuff has happened, and that was what it was in the movie, and it's true. Nobody can deny that Nazi Germany did it, and Pol Pot did, and Mao and all those guys, and it's still happening in Africa, people doing genocide. And of course we all know that we killed off all the Indians here, so we know that it's possible, we know that's been done before, so it has to be understood that there are definitely people who are trying to do it now. The question is, are they organized? Every once in a while you bust somebody for trying to do that. My personal opinion is that there is not an actual organized people in places of power who are actually do want to kill off 80% of the population. I haven't read any books, I haven't studied up on it, but that part doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think they would actually get away with it. They wouldn't even get away with planning it. But that being said, there are a lot of people, normal people, who do think humans are plagued, maybe even most of the people in the world. There was a professor who gave a speech in the University of Texas, so I saw in the video, and he said that he thinks that most people should die, and then he got a standing ovation.